So one of the things that when I joined Peak Nano that a lot of folks started talking about was this thing called fusion energy. Like many people who joined this industry, if you had told me what fusion was 3 years ago, I thought it was a Japanese or Asian restaurant. So it's come a long, long way. And one of the things that this journey has done for Peak is taught us a lot about what the different characteristics and things are that people need across the spectrum. And I think one of the things that's interesting in this room is that we represent 40 or 50 different approaches on how to do that. But at the beginning of all of these approaches, it starts with the ability to produce the power to start the fusion process. And that's a large part of what we want to talk to you about today. So what do we do that's different? Today, if you want to make a new plastic to form a new capacitor, you need Dow, some huge chemical company, to spend $10 billion, build a factory, and create a brand new formulation. And if you can't promise them tens of billions of dollars worth of revenue, they won't do it. And that's where the technology that we've created that we call Nanoplex comes in, is we have the ability to take existing polymers, package them together in different ways, produce them at the same cost point, and get them to a point where they can give you the new properties you need for each application. And that's a large part of where we have worked with many of the people in this room on your specific designs for that. And we have the ability to do this in months with new formulations versus years, and most importantly with a domestic and allied supply chain. So our manufacturing is in Ohio. We work with allied nation supply chains that help build this, because today the primary material that's used is 80% sourced from countries that we prefer not to source from. So with that, we've built two major flavors, one leaning towards the laser side of fusion, one leaning towards the magnetic side of fusion. And each of them have different characteristics, different performance pieces, and we've worked with the people in this room over the last 3 years to build that. And this past week, we made one announcement with E&P, a new capacitor company that we've been working with out of Melbourne, Florida. And this particular product will be focused more towards the laser side. We have other plans for the future on the magnetic side, but this is the first capacitor that is designed solely for these new IMG platforms and what people need. And this is an example of how we want to work with the people in this room to accelerate this. What are the custom needs? What does the supply chain need to look like? How do we give you scale and allow you to experiment and change things very rapidly? And our partnership with E&P is a great example of how we're able to do that. And as we look across this next generation of commercialization around laser fusion, we know that what was done in the traditional research labs of never get that right, Sandia and other places, requires a significant step forward in order to get commercialization and the right price per megawatt. Because at the end of the day, for all the things that we're trying to do, clean energy, universal energy, and the ability to change the world is the reason we're all doing this. Thank you.